like to say hello to everyone. Good afternoon through in Papua New Guinea. I'd like to acknowledge the innovative research universities and the Journal of Higher Education Policy and Management giving us the opportunity to partake in this webinar this afternoon. Secondly, I'd like to acknowledge the co-authors of this joint paper, which we had published, and they are Dr. Veronica Bue, late Mary Icy, Ms. Imelda Mbelier, Dr. Ms. Missy Betelsolo, Dr. Tindi Nuru, Ms. Dora Kialo, Professor Sam Shulakanda, Mrs. Segoin Denano, Dr. Lydia Yalambing, and our joint facilitators and authors at JCU, Susan Gasson, Professor Elizabeth Spencer, Dr. Christine Bruce, and Dr. Nick Roberts. So this presentation here and this particular paper is based on this joint project which my university, the Papua New Guinea University of Technology, and James Cook University. This project through DEFAT 3 years ago, and despite the project not in existence, we have continued this joint collaboration and research with this team, which I'm leading Women in Higher Education here at the University of Technology. As you can see, the title of our paper, Creating Sustainable Networks to Enhance Women's Participation in Higher Education in Papua New Guinea, is based on concern that we, women academics at this university, but elsewhere, the concerns we have and the challenges in this particular space to which we're experiencing, and we wanted to share this through this particular publication. The concept of this joint project here with JCU was one of the projects in this particular project which we have now taken on, and it's in its preliminary part of our team networking, so it's still in progress, but to share what we have developed and come about so far. Now, what did trigger this particular concern and participation in women education? It's because of the challenges that we have, and similarly elsewhere globally through our research, we see that we women in academia still have those challenges. And for us here at the University of Technology, we see that we still have this low rates of our participation in our profession, in research, and also in terms of having other young and other female academics come into this particular space. In terms of academic responsibilities and management, also in the university, we still have a low number. And so with these challenges, we were able to look at the statistics which we had available 5 years back in terms of trying to present what our status is at this university. And based on that, through the literature review which we had, it seems that the challenges and the opportunities that we have would be similar, although there is an increase in the various aspects of academia where we are participating in. Data which we were able to source, and part of that is in this particular paper, was through the reflection that we the female academics here were able to share through a ethnographic approach in terms of having to give account of what the challenges we were going through a various number of various themes that we were outlining these challenges. And through this interest group here that is led by the senior female academics, we were able to share the roles and the experiences and the activities that we were involved in. And because of that, we were able to form this particular team, a working group, which we are slowly trying to expand that to our other female academics and possibly elsewhere with the other universities in the country. And so we did partake in a conference, the PNG update, a conference that is held at that normally held at the University of Papua New Guinea, a joint collaborative project with the University of James Cook University of Australia. The seminars that we have back here at our university with our female colleagues and also through other mentoring that we do have with our joint facilitators in James Cook University. And with this, for the provision of the support that we get from from JCU, for example, Sue, who is co-presenting with me, and Professor Elizabeth, we acknowledge and appreciate the sharing of particular aspects in our discussion as to our way forward in trying to carry out more research and be able to publish the concerns that we have in our work as female academics, and through that we also would like to continue with conducting of research and within our group itself and also elsewhere. And one of the opportunities which we feel is just like through this webinar here, having to meet other academics, and not only female academics, but through research in the similar kind of interest in space. And so based on this latest presentation here, I think we're able to share the concerns we have here, and at the same time being able to also take note of the other presentations and the publication of our other co-authors in the other universities in the Pacific. I'll let Sue to continue on the other slide.
Thank you so much, Rachel. So as Rachel said, my name is Susan Gasson. I'm from James Cook University, and through the good graces of the Twinning Project, which was facilitated by the Cairns Institute, Christine Bruce, Elizabeth Spencer, Nick Roberts and myself were able to work with the special interest group that Rachel very, very ably leads and guides. And we thought that this special issue was an opportunity for us all to reflect on the work of that significant interest group and see the impact that it was having on the university and on the participation of women in research at that university, and think if there were some things about the work that they did that others could learn from. And so we used a collaborative research culture framework to really speak to the aspects of that special interest group that we thought were so special and important and could be reflected as potential ways to support the participation of women in other spaces. So the first principle is one of trust and respect. And in working with the special interest group, I was always very aware that it was an extraordinarily wonderful, safe space where the members of the special interest group could meet and share ideas and compare challenges and consider problems and work together to look for solutions and to be very open about the sorts of ambitions and plans and futures they had for themselves and how other members of the group might be able to benefit from their expertise. And so together, the special interest group was a key sanctioned network that was funded by the Twinning Project to support our engagement and collaboration. But there were also a range of formal opportunities, such as the conference that all members of the significant interest group were able to attend and present at, that was facilitated through the Twinning Project. And since the presentation of this paper, we've also been able to run a short seminar in Papua New Guinea to share the work that we've done and had various informal meetings with one another to progress things. and looking always for opportunities to include more people in the work of this network and to gain from their expertise. So the opportunity to be part of this webinar and to meet more people is very humbling and very wonderful. So thank you so much for taking the time to hear and listen to our experience. And the third thing that we saw coming out of this group was that by sharing expertise, by sharing ideas, by being open to being in a safe space and spending time together, group members were able to innovate, to inspire one another, and of course, to be inclusive and to welcome others to the group where there was an opportunity to do so, to further enhance the work of the individuals and the group. And overall, that work together based on those three principles led us to identify a fourth principle, which was the application of collaborative capacity. And collaborative capacity in this context is really the key message for those that want to engage in this sort of activity, the sorts of things that can be done to try to support engagement and support each other. And I hope that these pedagogical suggestions align with what's been said previously, but perhaps with slightly different words. So the principles of collaborative capacity are distributed leadership and informed research. So distributed leadership suggests that within any group, it's possible for the members to authorize and enable each other to lead aspects of a project based on their knowledge and skills. And so there isn't just one person delegating tasks. Everybody is participating and has the potential to be a knowledge leader within the group. And this is so important, particularly where you are trying to build leadership capacity and to demonstrate and role model leadership and give younger and less experienced researchers the opportunity to practice their leadership skills and to guide and direct and have a strong impact on the progress of a research project. So I hope distributed leadership appeals. It's a wonderful and empowering concept. And then the second element is about the use of information. And this is broadly based on a 7 phases of informed teaching, which Professor Christine Bruce conceptualized many years ago. And these 7 phases of informed research are just strategies that any individual researcher can apply, and they're intended to allow better access and use of information to inform the generation of research. And so it stretches from individuals looking at being aware of what information and what communication is available to them, what those sources look like, and how they can be used and adapted and shared and reconstructed to generate new knowledge. And ultimately, delightfully, we align with what's been said previously with the idea of generating gifts. And those gifts may be just sharing of ideas or creation of publications or the provision of a webinar. So we hope that these notions of different ways of using information to generate new knowledge and to share new knowledge and support collaboration across groups is inspiring and supports the intention of this very wonderful special issue that has been put together by Peter and the team. So thank you very much for hearing about our very fruitful collaborations, and I'm so delighted that Tindy and Imelda, who are members of our authorship group, are also here. And we hope that we can continue to inspire and encourage women's participation and researcher participation. And thank you, Maddie and others, for letting us be here. And there are our email addresses, so please keep in contact and let us continue the conversations. Thank you very much. Back to you, Rachel, just in case there's something I've missed or more you'd like to share.
Yes, thank you, Susan. In my concluding remarks, I would say we are fortunate for the special team here at the Papua New Guinea University of Technology, the female academics. We're fortunate to have established this fruitful collaboration with James Cook University, and now this has really inspired us with and encouraged us. Though it's slow, and we have our challenges trying to. We have, for example, we have a research survey yet to be completed, and with teaching and other services we have to do, we still have to find time in doing that. But we hope to get it complete before the end of the year. But thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, Mehdi, and the host and the others to come on board and share, to speak about the paper which you may have already read. Thank you very much.